Do you want to get better at chess? Well, one of the best ways you can do so is by analyzing your chess games. Well, how exactly do you do that? Most people aren't sure how to accurately analyze a game, and in this video, we're gonna walk you through an example of a game I analyzed live, and hopefully this will help you with your future games. So we just played a game with the white pieces, and we're gonna be analyzing it. This is actually a good use case for an analysis because we did lose this game. We had some great advantages that we threw away at certain different points, and we're going to figure out why we threw those advantages away, what we could have done better in certain situations, so on and so forth. We actually only made one blunder this whole game, which is at the end there where we kind of blundered checkmate. We also used most of our time, which is what I encourage you guys to do as well. You guys do get a free game analysis on chess.com, at least one per day, even with a free account. I recommend you use it. You can also use Elite Chess, which offers unlimited game reviews. I like to look from this perspective using the evaluation on, the lines on, and the feedback on. Evaluation is going to show you who is winning according to the engine at any given point in the game. The lines are going to show you the theoretical engine lines that are what they recommend you play, and the feedback is going to tell you whether the engine evaluates it as like a better move or a bad move or a mistake or blunder or a great or brilliant move. So to start this game off, we did play a Queen's Gambit. I'm pretty familiar with the theory at this of the opening of this, but here our opponent immediately mixed things up by playing c5. c5 is not a very common move to play against, but is I guess they call it the Austrian variation. I don't really have a specific way I like to play against this because I don't really play against it very often. So I just defended with the move e3, which is not a bad move. It says e3 is excellent. The best moves here, which you can see based on the engine, are moves such as taking this pawn, which is totally fine. You can actually look at some of these lines where if you take the pawn, they're going to try to win the pawn back. And there's ways you can, it tells you the follow-ups here, like taking this pawn, or we might want to play knight c3, something like that. And it's totally fine for us. What will probably happen here is something like this. They will recapture, and then we will probably play e3 in order to capture this pawn, perhaps at some point too. I don't really want to take their c pawn, so I decide to defend. They take this way. We capture with the bishop. That's the idea of the Queen's Gambit. You allow their pawn to be deflected from the center, and you develop your bishop. e6. Now they're defending their c pawn. They decide they don't want to take me. They could have, of course, taken me, which is actually the best engine move, in which case I would have taken with the pawn. I'd be ahead quite a bit in development here by a full move, but I also do have an isolated pawn, so the position is totally equal for my opponent, and they've probably played this position before. I'm sure they know what they're doing. We have knight f3, just a book move, knight c6, castle, and my position is excellent so far. My king is already very safe. I'm castled. I'm pretty happy with where we are in this position. We didn't make any mistakes or errors or inaccuracies so far. We're just playing kind of a standard game of chess up until this point. Opponent plays a6, which is a bit of an inaccuracy. It's probably honestly a fine move. It's just not what the engine wants the opponent to be doing. Of course, the engine still wants the opponent to take this pawn and make me have some sort of an isolated pawn in the center, or just developing. I honestly thought they were going to play the move knight f6 here and just start to get towards kingside castling, but they played this, and I knew right away they wanted to play b5, so I played a3. a3, although it says it's an inaccuracy, isn't anything crazy. a3 not only prevents anything from coming here in the future, but also gives my bishop a retreating square. So I thought a3 was a pretty nice move in response to a6. They do exactly what I thought. It's excellent, whatever. I play bishop a2. Bishop a2 is good. Could have played a little bit better here. We could have actually played, this is an interesting move, d5, which I don't know if I would have seen this move. It's kind of a wild idea of a move. The idea is that they take the bishop, we actually take the knight, and we have a pawn up here, which is very annoying for them. And they have two isolated pawns right here, so it's an equal exchange. If they take the pawn, we take with the bishop, and now we're hitting this hanging knight. They might play something like bishop here, and the game kind of moves on from that point. We decide to retreat our bishop. It's totally fine. They play c4. I was a little bit interested in c4. We now no longer can play moves like b4 because then they have a permanent pass pawn, so I didn't ever want to put this pawn in front of that pawn. We always need something in here in front of it to stop it. But my idea now is to play a normal developing move, knight c3, which it says is top engine move. Knight c3 also prevents this pawn from pushing up any forward, and eventually I will play potentially b3 to break away at this. The game progresses. Opponent develops. Opponents still no kingside development, so I'm not too unhappy here. I'm going to play b3 now. Engine doesn't really like b3. I'm actually going to expand also the amount of engine lines that this is showing. I actually do like to have 5 lines, because then sometimes it gives you just more options basically to see what it likes, because you can kind of see here that there's actually a lot of reasonable moves you can play in this position, and you'll notice that for a lot of positions. Sometimes the engine will say your move is an inaccuracy, although it really just means it's not like one of the top 3 or 4 moves. Like b6 could have been the 7th top engine move, but it's only a 0.5 engine difference in the evaluation. So like here we go from 0.5 to 0.1. So it's less than half of a point of an advantage swing against our favor. So it's actually not even a terrible move. It's just not the most accurate move. Engine wants us to do something like e4 here, putting 2 pawns in the center, which I actually considered moves like e4, not at this point, but we considered moves like that. My idea with b3 was, of course, if they take, we can take, and we've unlocked our bishop again. You know, life is good. We're just totally fine here with this, and they don't have this like clamp on our position here. And if they don't take, which they actually didn't take in this game, we can take, and I felt like this was better for us, and if Engine agrees if we take, which is not what I expected to happen at all. Like, we can't not take, obviously. You pretty much have to take. You could play b4 here, which I also briefly looked at, which is the second best move according to the Engine, but I kind of evaluated pretty quickly that it wasn't really what we wanted to do, so, because they're just going to move their knight back, and now they have a pass pawn, and now we can never shut down that pawn. So we take, which is our great move of the game. And this is one of the better advantages we had in the game at +1. An opponent takes back with a knight, which is what I figured they'd do. They don't want to take back with the pawn because then they have a loose pawn here in the center. So I figured they'd take back with the knight, but then once we take with the bishop, which is best according to the Engine, they take, and now we just pick up a pawn. Queen a4 check looks to me like it wins a pawn, and Engine agrees. Queen a4 check is best. Also, I should turn, it's not showing the moves in the interface here. Let's show move classification and best move on the board too. So now that that's on, we like to have this also. Queen a4 check is best, which we actually saw this immediately. That was actually why we even considered this move. I literally saw all this. Take back here, take, check, pick it up. And I even calculated we would move our queen to safety and that we would be totally fine in this position. So takes. And now we check and we pick up a pawn. I even calculated they would make this move. Queen d7, and we saw this and we said, okay, we're gonna pick up a pawn. And even if they play a move like rook c8, which they did eventually, I thought this was what they were gonna play. I calculated rook c8. They actually say taking the queen is best, which is crazy. Oh my God, taking the queen is best because of what? Then we have knight e5 check. Oh my God. And then that we don't get our pawn structure damage. This is sick. And the king actually has to move here or we take this. That's incredible. So here, the king probably has to go here. King e8, I think, is like or king e8. Yeah, one of these is like the only move. And actually that you block your bishop. So this is probably best for black. And these are the types of things you guys want to look at when you're evaluating why a certain pattern or moveset is better than the one you made. So you want to look and see positionally what the resulting position is going to be. And this resulting position, we don't win the pawn in this position, but I don't think that you can tell me that this position's not going to be better for white. Material's equal, but we will be able to develop our pieces very nicely. It says we can actually just attack this bishop right away. We can probably win this pawn back easily in the future. It is on a light square, so this bishop can't defend it. And then we just can centralize these rooks very fast, and we just have very active pieces. Their king can't castle, so it's gonna be hard for them to bring this rook out. They still have they need a lot of moves to develop other pieces, and this bishop can't really go anywhere too great. And also, this is gonna pick up this pawn too. I don't think we can play this now because of rook here, right? We can't play this now. Oh, I guess we have a check. No, we don't have a check. Wait a second. It's the computer's saying this is actually a fine move, but why? What about this? What do we do here? Rook b1. Oh, because we counterattack their bishop, but then what if they take? I don't get it. Wait a second. How is this okay for us? Take. What, can't they just gobble this? Do we check them or something? Check here. I don't see what the idea is. Oh, we would win this back. That's hilarious. And then start, oh my God. And what if they go here? Bishop d2. Oh my God, look at this, is crazy. There's no way I'm seeing any of this. Anyways, so this is all just from this position that we never wound up playing. We decided to take the pawn, and they play this, which is a great move. So yeah, all right, they're getting some of their advantage back because although we're up a pawn, we have some double pawns here, and now they're gonna get this with a tempo. It's not that big of a deal, really. They didn't even do it yet. They play this, they just develop a piece. Okay, so I'm just going to develop my rook to the same file as their queen. They like going back here, which is a move I didn't even consider. How much time did I spend on this move? 1 minute and 15 seconds? Actually, 1 minute and 25 seconds because there's an increment. So they like this. This is actually a reasonable move. If take, I get to my knight here, and again, I get to go here, which is kind of what I was thinking of later on. We just go here, line up with their queen. Rook c8. Just move our queen back. Queen d3 is best, obviously. We could have gone, queen b3 is probably the only other realistic move, but this being shielded by the pawn is nice. Now we're lined up here. We have adequate defenses here. If they ever play a move like e5, we're not scared. Queen c6. I feel like my opponent should be developing their other pieces. So like exactly what the Engine recommended, just like moving their bishop out somewhere or something like this. I don't know why I guess they don't want to be lined up with all this. So, okay, fair enough. attack the knight, but I can just move my knight out of the way. And oh my god, that move is not good. Bishop d2 is best. No, it's tied. Look at the evaluation, guys. So this is where the engine's sometimes a little weird. Like, this move is still fine. It's not really that bad, even though it says it's an inaccuracy. This move is just best, and they really want me to play this to develop a piece. But I like this move because it removes the knight from danger, and it also removes the pawn from danger at the same time. That's what I was thinking. I was very nervous to play a move like this because then they just take this pawn. And now I'm kind of scared. But I guess I then take this pawn, and it's actually pretty good for me because their king is still in the center, so maybe that's okay. And I'm threatening this, and I'm threatening check. I'm threatening here. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. I'm maybe bringing my knight in at some point. I can play my rooks on the open, and their king is just very loose here. I'm threatening this check, threatening this check. All right, this actually does look pretty nice for me. Now, what if they go like check here? And now I'm just theorizing what I would have done. So I guess I go here, and if they check here, king e1, and then my king is just somehow safe. And I can even give up this pawn. That's crazy. Oh, because this is still hanging. Okay. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you join our chess club where we have monthly tournaments that you can participate in, and check out our Discord where you can find other people at the same level as you to play chess against, or people higher level than you to help mentor you in chess as well. Enjoy the rest of the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Anyhow, we didn't play bishop d2. Instead, we played knight e4. They could have followed this up with bishop e7. I literally thought they were going to play this move. I said their bishop has no other good squares. We were playing this game. Bishop can't go here or here. It's not going to go here because they don't want to trade for the knight. And then this is the only square. That's what I thought they were going to play. I thought they were going to play this in castle. And I was like trying to think of fast moves I can play. And I was probably still going to play bishop d2 next. But anyways, they go here for some reason. Very bizarre. Like, if they take, this seems good for me. I don't think they want to take this. Look at my nice pawns in the center. This seems good for me. I don't get it. Bishop e7 still. I feel very happy here if this is the case, and now my center is very nice. The king can always walk over here if it really needs to. But knight here. Okay, and this is where I start spending a lot of time on my moves because I'm very scared, and I shouldn't be because there's nothing to be scared of here. I feel like there's no threats. They're not threatening anything. I'm very nervous they're threatening something, and I'm trying to like protect everything. I'm nervous about f4. f5 is coming to kick my knight out, and they win this pawn. I'm very nervous about that. I don't want that to happen. Best move is still just play bishop d2. Is that what I played? Play king g2. King g2 is actually not the worst move. It's actually the third best move according to the engine. King g2, defending our pawn. That was the idea. They kick our knight out still, which is a great move. And now I was so close to playing knight c5. I loved knight c5. This was going to be my move. What does the engine think of this move? I'm curious. Knight c5 is actually the third best move. I played this, which is the best move. So I did find a play. But this move I spent so much time on. I spent almost 3 minutes on this move. But the thing is, I was so excited. If they were to take this, I take, and if they, like, I calculated them taking this, and this is so good for me because I get this move, queen d7 check, which is best move, and this is amazing. And then I just go here, but then I gobble this pawn, and it just looks over for them. It says I should play a4. Oh, to get this bishop in. Look at this. Oh my god. a4 I wouldn't have found. I was gonna like take this, which is also a good move for me. I liked this position a lot. So I calculated that first, but the issue is they don't have to take with the bishop. They can also play rook here. This is what I thought they might do instead. And then I was like, oh no, now they are threatening to take the knight. The knight has to move. Oh, I guess I could have taken this. Oh no, but then they just take the knight. No, they can't take the knight. Oh, maybe then I could have played queen takes a6. Oh my god. And then if takes here, if they take this, I win the queen and the bishop. So yeah, they have to take the queen, then I take this. Oh my, why didn't I play knight c5? But anyway, somehow I played the best move, which I wasn't too happy about because it's a passive move. But if they take, I can either realign my pawns back up, which is nice, or I can actually even go here, which I actually thought h takes is better, and h takes is slightly better. We somehow spend all this time, but we do play the best move. They just go back, and now I'm not sure what to do here, and I spend a lot of time. Again, it is +1 here, but I have to play one of the following moves. I either need to play bishop d2 or a move like e4, which I was a little nervous to play, but would have been a totally fine move, or a move like rook b1 to activate my other rook. And I wind up playing bishop d2, top engine move. I'm like, okay, we just have to develop our pieces. Get our bishop out. Maybe we'll play bishop b4 at some point. Maybe we'll play one of the rooks to c1, kick the queen out here, which is eventually what I did. They play g5, which is a mistake. And now top engine moves are bringing a rook to this file, which is exactly what we did. Rook c1. The issue is that they're threatening to play this move. And I cannot take their pawn because my thing is pinned. But I figured go rook c1 first. They have to respect this move. They can't obviously play this because their queen's hanging. If they move the queen to b7, I will just play rook b1 and hit their queen again and activate both rooks. And now I'm just looking really nice. I also thought they might play this, queen a8. Okay, which they did. They did play queen a8. Okay, and now again I have to be concerned about this. But I realized, I didn't calculate this ahead of time, but I then realized if I take the rook, the only way they can take back is with the queen. and that gets the queen off the diagonal, gives my king a way to escape, and I do take the rook. Oh my god, best move was actually maybe even go here. And then if they go here, oh my god, I'm threatening this. Look at this lunacy. If here I just take this and just take this and I'm just crushing. That's crazy. So they might have to respect it and play like king here or something, like king f7. Yeah, king f7's best, and then rook takes, and then we continue from there. But I take, which is still one of the best moves. It's +2 here, perhaps our biggest advantage of the game. If we look again at the review tab, this is one of our biggest advantages so far. I'll just go back here and see. Yep, this is maybe the best point in the game for us. And here you'll also notice is the time difference. We have a big advantage, but you'll notice my time is 1:21 and their time is 10:30. So they have a lot more time than us, and we have to play very quickly. And that's where the issues are going to start to arise, because I'm not going to have as much time to calculate even from this winning position. It should be pretty crushing for white, and obviously at the highest level of chess, someone much better than me could definitely win this even with that little time. I'm pretty confident. I mean, maybe not, I don't know. But at my level, I'm starting to get a little nervous, and I have a good position, but it's hard for me to convert it, especially with this low of time. So I actually play king f1. I'm very nervous about them going back to a8 and threatening the same exact thing, but I have so much time. This is such a slow thing to go king f1 and king e2. Like, there's no reason for me to play that, because if they spend all their time doing queen a8 and g4, it's just wasting. Like, I have so much faster threats. Like, I have queen b3, which puts pressure here. So now they can't even play queen a8. They could play this, I guess. But then I could actually, if they play that, I think I actually have rook c1, and then I'm just dominating. Like, I'm just blasting them. So I think I probably should play queen b3 here, or something like that, or even rook c1 right away. They actually say rook c1 is top engine move. e4 is a good move I can play right now while their queen is not on the diagonal anymore. h3 would have been reasonable to help prevent this move, but instead I do this, and it's still winning for white, but it's only +1 instead of +2. And now they play queen b7, threatens this pawn, and I want to defend it, but I don't necessarily even, I don't necessarily even know if I need to. Like, I could play rook b1 here as one of the best moves. I could also play e4, another opportunity to play e4, best move on the board. I play the second best move, king e2. It says a mistake, but it is still the second best move, so I can't be too upset about that. g4 is coming, trying to rip this open, and here is where I blundered. I probably just needed to take this pawn. I don't know why I didn't. I just needed to take this pawn, because when I push the pawn, now they have queen f3, and now it goes from me being winning to it being equal. If I take, I was thinking they would take with the knight. This is what I was thinking they would do, maybe threatening this pawn or something. But now it seems like I'm doing pretty well again after rook b1. What if they took with the pawn? Then I can't have rook b1, because then they come in here. Now I have e4. Yeah, just e4 just locks everything up, and now the queen. I just need to play e4 this whole time and shut their queen out of this attack. But if I took like this, rook b1, best move is queen c6. What do I have? Knight h5, maybe threatening to come in here, I guess what they're saying. Yeah, I mean, what if they came in here? What if they did like this? Threaten this. I'm trying to think without looking at the engine now. What am I going to do here? Am I going to play rook f1? Is that what I have to do? Queen c4 is best. Oh my god, they just say I can completely ignore that. Queen c4? Oh my god. And if takes, king d3 is just fine, and that's just the end of the game. My opponent's just going to lose. They have no moves. Can't take this. They can't take this. I mean, they could take this, but what the hell is that doing? They could take this and threaten my knight. They have this, but then I'm probably just going to win. It's actually mate in 2. Check, and probably some sort of mate over here. Yeah, check, and they get this. Probably going to be mate. Check. Here, how do I mate them now? Oh, is this mate? Oh my god, this is mate. That's incredible. Oh my god. We blundered, but the craziest thing is, even though we blundered this move, because we have such little time on the clock. I have 1:21. I play this move in 25 seconds and I immediately saw this after I played it. It's not even that losing, just king e1. I played king f1, which is still fine. It's still 0-0-0, probably because I have counterplay. But they go knight here, and somehow, I don't take. If I take this, they have this, which I saw. And then I go king e2, and then they win the rook. So they take this. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do. But this is still winning for white, because knight g5. Oh my god. Are they supposed to, wait a second. Are they supposed to take this first? Kick my queen out? No, then I would be able to go here and defend my, I should just sacked the piece. I was so nervous to sack the piece, but we just have knight and then, or this. But yeah, knight here, and it's winning for white. This is actually winning. Oh my god. I just take this. I played this move in 24, I played this move in 18 seconds. Rook c1, and we needed to take the knight. And if we take, it's okay to sacrifice the material here. If they take with this, then this is also winning because all their pieces are so disconjointed here, and I can just pick up all these pawns. Everything's a weakness in their position. It's just completely crushing. I probably can go rook c1 and go here. My king can come up to here, and I'm totally safe. It says rook b1 actually, but rook c1, I guess the king can then stop it from coming in. So I guess I go rook b1 so the king can't stop, and then I go here. Although I guess this could stop it. No, it can't. This can't even go here. This is crazy. I have rook b1, and I'm just gonna come gobble all these pawns. Anyhow, that's insane. Yeah, but I was just, I guess I got scared, and I had little time on the clock, and I crumbled. I just crumbled, but it was totally winning. Even after they play knight e4, I still have chances, and I just gave them mate in 1. I just didn't even, I didn't even, oh man. And it's funny, they spent so much time to mate in 1. They spent over 30 seconds like just making sure this was mate in 1, and that's it. And they gave him a great move for that too, somehow, even though I don't think it's that hard to find. But anyways, for those of you watching, that's how we analyze our chess games. Hopefully you won't blunder mate in 1 like I did. If you're watching this on YouTube, consider subscribing. Check out our other chess content. It's pretty good.